From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. This article is about the TV series. For the House in Ceuta, see House of the Dragons. House of the Dragon. Genre: Action 1. Adventure 2. Fantasy 3. Serial Drama 4. Created by Ryan Condal, George R.R. Martin. Based on Fire and Blood. By George R.R. Martin. Showrunners: Ryan Condal, Miguel Sapochnik, Season 1. Starring Paddy Considine, Matt Smith, Emma Darcy, Rhys Evans, Steve Toussaint, Eve Best, Sunwoy Mizuno, Fabian Frankel, Millie Alcock, Emily Carey, Graham McTavish, Matthew Needham, Jefferson Hall, Olivia Cook, Harry Collett, Tom Glencarney, Ewan Mitchell, Bethany Antonia, Phoebe Campbell, Faya Sabin, Kurt Ejiawan, Kieran Bu, Abubakar Salim, Tom Taylor, Clinton Liberty, Tom Bennett, Elora Torquia, Freddie Fox, Gail Rankin, Simon Russell Bale. Theme music composer Ramin Djawadi. Opening theme Game of Thrones theme. Composer Ramin Djawadi. Country of origin United States. Original language English. No of Seasons 2. No of Episodes 18. Production. Executive producers: Miguel Sapochnik, Ryan Condal, George R.R. Martin, Ron Schmidt, Jocelyn Diaz, Sarah Hess, Vince Girardes, Alan Taylor. Producers: Karen Wacker, Angus Moore Gordon, Alexis Rabin, Gabe Fonseca, Kevin Lau. Production locations: Portugal, United Kingdom, Spain, United States. Cinematography: Fabian Wagner, Pepe Avila del Pino, Alejandro Martinez, Catherine Goldschmidt. Editors: Tim Porter, Selena MacArthur, Crispin Green, Chris Hunter. Running time 54-70 minutes. Production companies: GRRM, Bastard Sword, 126 Pictures Inc., HBO Entertainment. Original release: Network HBO. Release August 21, 2022. Present. Related: Game of Thrones. House of the Dragon is an American fantasy drama television series created by George R.R. Martin and Ryan Condal for HBO. A prequel to Game of Thrones, 2011-2019, it is the second television series in Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire franchise. Condal and Miguel Sapochnik served as the showrunners for the first season. Based on parts of Martin's 2018 book Fire and Blood, the series begins about 100 years after the Seven Kingdoms are united by the Targaryen conquest, nearly 200 years before the events of Game of Thrones, and 172 years before the birth of Daenerys Targaryen. Featuring an ensemble cast, the show portrays the events leading up to the decline of House Targaryen, a devastating war of succession known as the Dance of the Dragons. House of the Dragon received a straight-to-series order in October 2019, with casting beginning in July 2020 and principal photography starting in April 2021 in the United Kingdom. The series premiered on August 21, 2022, with the first season consisting of 10 episodes. The series was renewed for a second season 5 days after its premiere. Sapochnik departed as showrunner after the first season, leaving Condal to serve as the sole showrunner for the second season. The second season premiered on June 16, 2024, with 8 episodes. In June 2024, ahead of the second season premiere, the series was renewed for a third season. The series received positive reviews, with praise for its character development, visual effects, writing, score by Ramin Djawadi, and performances. However, the pacing, specifically of the time jumps, and the dark lighting of some scenes during the first season were criticized. The series premiere was watched by over 10 million viewers across the linear channels and HBO Max on the first day, the biggest in HBO's history. At the 80th Golden Globe Awards, House of the Dragon won Best Television Series Drama, and Emma Darcy was nominated for Best Actress in a Television Series Drama. The series earned 9 Emmy Award nominations, including Outstanding Drama Series, and won 3 British Academy Television Craft Awards. Cast and Characters. Main article, List of House of the Dragon characters. Millie Alcock as young Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen and Emily Carey as young Alicent Hightower. Paddy Considine as King Viserys I Targaryen, Season 1, uncredited guest Season 2 the fifth King of the Seven Kingdoms. Known as a warm, kind, and decent man, Viserys was chosen by a council of lords to succeed his grandfather, King Jaehaerys I Targaryen, as king. Viserys is the firstborn son of Jaehaerys' second son Prince Baelon Targaryen and his sister-wife Princess Alyssa Targaryen. Viserys is a former dragon rider who was bonded to the dragon Balerion, also known as the Black Dread, and was Baelrion's last rider before its death. Matt Smith as Prince/King Consort Daemon Targaryen, the younger brother of King Viserys I Targaryen and uncle/second husband of Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen. Known as the Rogue Prince for his unpredictable behavior, Daemon is a fierce warrior and wields the Valyrian steel sword Dark Sister. He is a formidable dragon rider who is bonded to the dragon Caraxes, also known as the Blood Wyrm. Emma Darcy as Princess/Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen, King Viserys I Targaryen's daughter and heir apparent, the firstborn and only surviving child of Viserys and his first wife, Queen Aemma Oren. She was praised as the realm's delight during her youth. She is crowned queen by her supporters, the Blacks, after her stepmother, Dowager Queen Alicent Hightower, usurped the throne for her own son Rhaenyra's half-brother by claiming that Viserys changed his successor with his dying breath. Rhaenyra is a dragon rider who is bonded to the dragon Syrax. Millie Alcock portrays young Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, Season 1, Guest Season 2. Rhys Evans as Sir Otto Hightower, Queen Alicent Hightower's father and the hand of the king on King Viserys I Targaryen's small council. He continues to hold his position under King Aegon II Targaryen, until being replaced by Aegon with Sir Criston Cole. When his daughter became queen, he began plotting to put her eldest son Aegon on the Iron Throne, instead of Rhaenyra. Steve Toussaint as Lord Corlys Velaryon, the Lord of Driftmark and head of House Velaryon, one of the wealthiest and most powerful families in the Seven Kingdoms. Known as the Sea Snake, he is the most famous seafarer in Westerosi history. He is the master of ships on King Viserys I Targaryen's small council until his resignation and later becomes Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen's Hand of the Queen. Eve Best as Princess Rhaenys Targaryen, Seasons 1-2 Viserys and Daemon's older cousin and the wife of Lord Corlys Velaryon. Rhaenys is the only child of Prince Aemon Targaryen, King Jaehaerys I Targaryen's late heir apparent and oldest son, and Jocelyn Baratheon, Jaehaerys' half-sister. Known as the Queen Who Never Was, she was once a candidate to succeed her grandfather as ruler of the Seven Kingdoms but was passed over in favor of her younger cousin Viserys due to her gender. She is a formidable dragon rider who is bonded to the dragon Meleys, also known as the Red Queen. Sunwoya Mizuno as Mysaria, a foreign-born brothel dancer who rose to become Prince Daemon Targaryen's paramour and most trusted confidant until they eventually parted ways. She is later known as the White Worm and leads a network of spies throughout King's Landing and becomes Rhaenyra's advisor. Fabian Frankel as Sir Criston Cole, a skilled swordsman from the Dornish marches and the common-born son of the steward to the Lord of Blackhaven, who is handpicked by Princess Rhaenyra to become a member of King Viserys I Targaryen's Kingsguard. He later replaces Sir Harold Westerling as Lord Commander of the Kingsguard following the ascension of King Aegon II Targaryen, and also replaces Sir Otto Hightower as Hand of the King. Olivia Cooke as Queen/Dowager Queen Alicent Hightower, Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen's childhood companion and later the second wife and queen consort of King Viserys I Targaryen. She is raised in the Red Keep as part of the king's inner circle and is known as the comeliest woman in the court. Emily Carey portrays young lady/Queen Alicent Hightower, Season 1. Graham McTavish as Sir Harold Westerling, Season 1, a seasoned knight of the King's Guard who has served the crown since the reign of King Jaehaerys I Targaryen. He is tasked with watching over and protecting Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen. He replaces Sir Riam Redwyne as the Lord Commander of the King's Guard and later resigns from his position before King Aegon II Targaryen's ascension. Matthew Needham as Lord Larys Strong, the younger son of Lord Lionel Strong. He is known as Clubfoot due to a birth abnormality that causes him to walk with a limp. He is Queen Alicent's trusted confidant and serves as the Lord Confessor and later the Master of Whisperers on King Aegon II Targaryen's small council. He also succeeds his father as Lord of Harrenhal and head of House Strong. Jefferson Hall as identical twins. Lord Jason Lannister, the Lord of Casterly Rock, head of House Lannister and Warden of the West. An arrogant hunter and a warrior, he unsuccessfully vies for the hand of Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen. Sir Tyland Lannister, Lord Jason Lannister's younger twin brother and a cunning politician. He replaces Lord Corlys Velaryon as Master of Ships on King Viserys I Targaryen's small council and later switches his position to replace Lord Lyman Beesbury as the Master of Coin under King Aegon II Targaryen. Harry Collett as Prince Jaehaerys Jace Velaryon, the firstborn son of Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen and Sir Laenor Velaryon, and Rhaenyra's heir apparent. He is a dragon rider who is bonded to the young dragon Vermax. Leo Hart portrays young Jaehaerys Velaryon, guest Season 1. Tom Glencarney as Prince/King Aegon II Targaryen, the sixth king of the Seven Kingdoms. He is the firstborn son of King Viserys I Targaryen and Queen Alicent Hightower, half-brother to Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, husband to his sister-wife Helaena Targaryen, and father to her children. Despite the best efforts of his mother, his hedonism and depravity are legendary in King's Landing's Street of Silk. He is a dragon rider who is bonded to the young dragon Sunfire, also known as Sunfire the Golden. Ty Tennant portrays young Prince Aegon Targaryen, guest Season 1. Ewan Mitchell as Prince Aemon Targaryen, the third child and second son of King Viserys I Targaryen and Queen Alicent Hightower. He is known as Aemond One Eye after losing his left eye in a brawl with his nephews and has grown to become a fearsome and aggressive warrior. He aspires to be a dragon rider and later claims the old dragon Viagar, also known as the Queen of All Dragons. Leo Ashton portrays young Prince Aemon Targaryen, guest Season 1. Bethany Antonia as Lady Baela Targaryen, the elder daughter of Prince Daemon Targaryen and Lady Laena Velaryon. She is a dragon rider who is bonded to the young dragon Moondancer. Shuni Smethurst portrays young Baela Targaryen, guest Season 1. Phoebe Campbell as Lady Rhaena Targaryen, the younger daughter of Prince Daemon Targaryen and Lady Laena Velaryon. She is in possession of a dragon egg, although it has yet to hatch. Eva Oci Journing portrays young Rhaena Targaryen, guest Season 1. Fia Sabin as Princess/Queen Helaena Targaryen, the second-born child and only daughter of King Viserys I Targaryen and Queen Alicent Hightower, sister-wife of King Aegon II Targaryen, and mother to his children. She has a unique interest in bugs and often speaks in cryptic prophetic language. She is a dragon rider who is bonded to the dragon Dreamfire. Evie Allen portrays young Princess Helaena Targaryen, guest Season 1. Kurt Ejiawan as Grand Maester Orwali, Season 2, recurring Season 1a Maester of the Citadel who replaces Melos as the Grand Maester on King Viserys I Targaryen's small council and continues to hold his position under King Aegon II Targaryen. Kieran Boo as Hugh Hammer, Season 2 a blacksmith from King's Landing who struggles to care for his sick daughter. He later reveals himself to be a Targaryen bastard, the grandson of King Jaehaerys I Targaryen, and claims the dragon Vermithor, also known as the Bronze Fury. Abubakar Salim as Alan of Hull, Season 2 Lord Corlys Velaryon's bastard son and a sailor in service to House Velaryon who saved Corlys' life in the Stepstones. Tom Taylor as Lord Cregan Stark, Season 2 the young Lord of Winterfell, head of House Stark and Warden of the North. Clinton Liberty as Adam of Hull, Season 2 Lord Corlys Velarion's bastard son, Alan's brother, and a shipwright in the Velaryon fleet. He is later pursued by the dragon Seasmoke, who chooses Adam to be his dragon rider. Tom Bennett as Ulf White, Season 2 a denizen of King's Landing who claims to be a Targaryen bastard and the half-brother of King Viserys I and Prince Daemon Targaryen. He later claims the dragon Silverwing. Elora Torquia as Cot, Season 2 Hugh's wife and mother to his daughter. Freddie Fox as Sir Gawain Hightower, Season 2 the son of Sir Otto Hightower and older brother of Dowager Queen Alicent Hightower. Will Willoughby portrays young Gawain Hightower, uncredited Season 1. Gail Rankin as Alice Rivers, Season 2 a mysterious healer at Harrenhal in service to House Strong. Simon Russell Bale as Sir Simon Strong, Season 2 the great-uncle of Lord Larrys Strong and the Castellan of Harrenhal. Episodes. Season episodes originally aired. First aired last aired. 1. 10 August 21, 2022 October 23, 2022. 2. 8 June 16, 2024 August 4, 2024. Season 1, 2022. No. Overall no in. Season title directed by written by original air date. 1-1 The Heirs of the Dragon Miguel Sapoknik Ryan Condal August 21, 2022. With both his sons dead, old King Jaehaerys I Targaryen convenes a great council to choose an heir. The Westerosi lords select Jaehaerys' eldest grandson, Prince Viserys, over Princess Rhaenys, the eldest grandchild. 9 years later, King Viserys organizes a tournament to celebrate Queen Aemma Oren's pregnancy, confident she carries his long-awaited male heir. The small council disregards Master of Ships Lord Corlys Velarion's warning that the Triarchy, an alliance of Essos' free cities, threatens to cripple Westerosi shipping lanes. Hand of the King, Sir Otto Hightower, criticizes Viserys' brother and heir, Prince Daemon, for his brutality as the City Watch commander, in response to Daemon and his men dismembering and/or murdering seemingly random common folk. At the tournament, Sir Criston Cole, a young common-born knight, outcompetes Daemon. Meanwhile, Viserys sacrifices Aemma in childbirth, authorizing a C-section. Their newborn son, Balon, then dies. Viserys refuses the council's pleas to appoint a new heir until Otto reveals that Daemon mockingly styled Balon as the heir for a day. Outraged, Viserys banishes Daemon from King's Landing and appoints his only living child, Princess Rhaenyra, heir to the Iron Throne, revealing to her Aegon the Conqueror's dream that inspired him to unify Westeros. 2-2 The rogue Prince Greg Yaitanes Ryan Condal August 28, 2022. 6 months later, Daemon has illegally occupied Castle Dragonstone. Prince Admiral Kragas Draher, known as the Crab Feeder, menaces the Stepstones archipelago at the Essos Triarchy's behest. The small council dismisses Rhaenyra's suggestion to show force and instead relegates her to appoint a new Kingsguard knight. Ignoring others' advice, she chooses Sir Criston, the only knight with actual battle experience. Sir Otto sends his teenage daughter, Lady Alicent, to console the grieving king. She advises Viserys to discuss his kingly duty to remarry with Rhaenyra. Lord Corlys and his wife, Princess Rhaenys, propose that Viserys unite their Valyrian houses by marrying their 12-year-old daughter, Laena. Meanwhile, the small council learns that Daemon, proclaiming himself the true heir, stole a dragon egg and intends to marry his mistress, Mysaria, as a secondary spouse. Otto and a small detachment sail to Dragonstone to retrieve the egg. Rhaenyra follows on her dragon, Syrax, and forces Daemon to renounce his false claims and return the egg. Viserys announces his intention to wed Alicent, angering Corlys, who proposes an alliance with Daemon. 3-3 Second of his name Greg Yaitanes Gabe Fonseca and Ryan Condal September 4, 2022. For 3 years, Lord Corlys and Prince Daemon have battled the Crab Feeder and his forces in the Stepstones without the Iron Throne's support. Meanwhile, King Viserys plans a great hunt to celebrate his and pregnant Queen Alicent's son Aegon's second birthday. Rhaenyra resents her father's excessive attention towards her half-brother, Aegon. The ailing king insists that Rhaenyra, now 17, must marry to form a strong alliance and protect their lineage. Many suitors are considered, including 2-year-old Prince Aegon. Lord Lionel Strong recommends Sir Laenor Velaryon, Lord Corley's son, as a potential match to mend the rift between the two houses. Overcoming previous doubts, Viserys assures Rhaenyra she remains his heir and can choose her consort. Meanwhile, brothers Hobart and Otto Hightower secretly scheme to make Aegon the successor, furthering their family's power and prestige. After Sir Viamond Velaryon pleads for the king's help, Viserys sends aid to the Stepstones. Seeing his brother's support as ending his chance to prove himself, Daemon acts as bait to ambush and kill the crab feeder, winning the ensuing battle before the Crown's forces arrive. 4-4 King of the Narrow Sea Claire Kilner Ira Parker September 11, 2022. After an unsuccessful months-long tour to choose a consort, Rhaenyra returns to King's Landing. Daemon also returns after conquering most of the Stepstones. Now called King of the Narrow Sea, Daemon swears allegiance to Viserys and hands over his crown. As the reunited brothers celebrate, Alicent and Rhaenyra reconcile. After dark, Daemon and Rhaenyra sneak out to explore King's Landing, attend a bawdy play, and visit a brothel. Daemon seduces a willing Rhaenyra, but unable to consummate their affair, he abandons her there. Returning to the Red Keep, Rhaenyra seduces Criston. Informed by the White Worm's spy, Otto informs the king about Daemon and Rhaenyra's carousing. Alicent overhears and privately questions Rhaenyra, who swears she is still a maid. Viserys confronts a hungover and disheveled Daemon who seemingly confirms the rumors and proposes he wed Rhaenyra. Viserys claims Daemon only wants the crown and exiles him to the Vale. To avoid scandal and strengthen the throne, Viserys orders Rhaenyra to marry Laenor. Viserys dismisses Otto as his hand after Rhaenyra accuses Otto of manipulating him for his personal gain. Grand Maester Melos gives Rhaenyra a precautionary abortifacient tea at Viserys' request. 5-5 We Light the Way Claire Kilner Charmaine de Great September 18, 2022. In the Vale, Daemon murders his wife, Lady Rhea Royce. Before departing King's Landing, Sir Otto warns Queen Alicent that Rhaenyra becoming queen would make Alicent's 2 sons a threat to the crown. Rhaenyra and Laenor are betrothed, mollifying Lord Corlys. Understanding Laenor's homosexuality, Rhaenyra proposes fulfilling their royal duties to produce heirs, then pursue their own lovers. Criston is humiliated when Rhaenyra declines his proposal to elope to Essos and assume new identities. She prefers their current sexual liaison. Alicent questions Criston about Rhaenyra and Daemon, but after misunderstanding, he confesses to being Rhaenyra's lover. During Rhaenyra and Laenor's betrothal celebration, Alicent enters, interrupting Viserys' speech, wearing a green gown, the signal color for House Hightower's call to arms. Daemon also unexpectedly attends. Confronted by Rhea's cousin, Daemon denies murdering her and wishes to assert his claim to inherit her lands. Laenor's lover, Sir Joffrey Lonmouth, surmises Criston is Rhaenyra's paramour. When Criston believes Joffrey is threatening blackmail, he brutally kills him, devastating Laenor and horrifying guests. Rhaenyra and Laenor are privately wed late that night. Viserys collapses after the ceremony. Meanwhile, Alicent intervenes as a disgraced Criston is about to commit suicide. 6-6 The Princess and the Queen Miguel Sapiknik Sarah Hess September 25, 2022. 10 years later, Rhaenyra has 3 sons Jacaerys Jace, Lucerys Luke, and newborn Joffrey. All lack Valyrian platinum hair, but King Viserys rejects Queen Alicent's assertion that Sir Laenor is not their father. Alicent tells Aegon, that, as Viserys' firstborn son, he must prepare to dispute Rhaenyra's Iron Throne claim. Daemon and his wife, Laena Velaryon, visit Pentos with daughters Baela and Rhaena. The prince offers them a lordship in exchange for an alliance against a resurgent triarchy. Laena commands her dragon, Viagar, to incinerate her after agonizing labor leaves her unable to give birth. Criston, now serving Alicent, goads Sir Harwin Strong into attacking him by implying Harwin fathered Rhaenyra's children. To ease family strife, Rhaenyra proposes that Jacaerys marry Helena, Alicent's daughter. Alicent refuses. Hand of the King Lord Lionel Strong escorts his son Harwin to Harrenhal Castle. It is implied that Harwin fathered Rhaenyra's sons. Alicent confides to Lionel's younger son, Larys, that she wishes her father, Sir Otto, was still the king's hand. Larys recruits 3 criminals to set a fire at Harrenhal, killing Lionel and Harwin. Rhaenyra moves her household to Dragonstone, also bringing Laenor's lover, Sir Carl Corey. 7-7 Driftmark Miguel Sapiknik Kevin Lau October 2, 2022. King Viserys and his court attend Lady Laena's funeral in Driftmark. Rhaenyra and Daemon reunite and are physically intimate. Meanwhile, Viserys fails to reconcile with Daemon. Prince Aemond claims Viagar as his dragon, causing an altercation with his cousins and nephews in which Luke slashes Aemond's eye with a knife. As revenge, Queen Alicent lunges at Luke with Viserys' Valyrian steel dagger. Rhaenyra blocks Alicent but injures herself. Viserys decrees anyone claiming Rhaenyra's sons are bastards will be punished. Later, former Hand of the King, Otto Hightower, assures Alicent they will prevail, while Rhaenyra and Daemon unite against Alicent and her family. To continue the true Valyrian lineage, Princess Rhaenys suggests that Lord Corlys pass his title through his granddaughter, Baela, by marriage to Luke, as Laenor has not sired any children. Carl appears to murder Laenor, leaving behind a charred body. Daemon and Rhaenyra privately marry in the old Valyrian dragon lord tradition to perpetuate the Targaryen bloodline. Meanwhile, Laenor, having faked his death, escapes Driftmark with Carl. 8-8 The Lord of the Tides Geeta Vasant Patel Eileen Shim October 9, 2022. 6 years later, Lord Corlys Velaryon is wounded fighting in the Stepstones. His brother, Sir Vaemond, petitions King's Landing to name him Corlys' heir, proclaiming Rhaenyra's son Lucerys illegitimate. Rhaenyra and Daemon return to the capital to defend Luke's claim. King Viserys is now bedridden, disfigured, and mentally muddled. Queen Alicent and the King's Hand, Otto Hightower, oversee all royal matters. Alicent covers up Prince Aegon's rape of a handmaiden. Rhaenyra proposes 2 marriage arrangements with House Velaryon to gain Princess Rhaenys' support. She implores Viserys to defend her succession, quoting Aegon the Conqueror's dream about the prince that was promised. Vaemond's petition is presented at court and Viserys reaffirms Luke's position as the heir to Driftmark. Daemon beheads Vaemond when he denounces Rhaenyra and her children. The family appears to reconcile during a feast, but Aemond later incites a fight. Meanwhile, Alicent's lady-in-waiting, Talia, regularly provides Daemon's former mistress, Mysaria, with information. Viserys, near death and mistaking Alicent for Rhaenyra, mutters parts of Aegon the Conqueror's dream, which Alicent mistakenly believes refers to Prince Aegon. 9-9 The Green Council Claire Kilner Sarah Hess October 16, 2022. After Viserys' death, Sir Otto and the small council plot to crown Prince Aegon. Sir Criston unintentionally kills Lord Beesbury, who opposed the scheme. Kingsguard Lord Commander Harold Westerling resigns in protest. Otto keeps Viserys' death a secret to fortify the council's position, then coerces the noble houses to switch their allegiance to Aegon. Those resisting are imprisoned or hanged. Otto and Alicent discuss whether to kill or exile Rhaenyra and separately rush to find and influence the missing Prince Aegon. Otto sends Kingsguard brothers Sir Eric and Sir Eric Cargyle, while Alicent tasks Criston and Prince Aemond. The Cargyles find Aegon first, but Criston and Aemond forcibly take him. Lord Larys tells Alicent that spies, including Lady-in-Waiting, Talia, are within the Red Keep. Alicent approves eliminating the head spy. Alicent persuades a resistant Aegon to claim his birthright. King's Landing citizens are herded into the Dragon Pit to witness Aegon's coronation. Princess Rhaenys, refusing to support Aegon's claim, is held captive. Eric frees her, and she enters the Dragon Pit caverns. Astride her dragon, Malaise, she violently breaches the Grand Hall, causing mayhem, death, and threatening the royals. Rennes then flees King's Landing on Malays. 1010 The Black Queen Greg Ya Itanes Ryan Condal October 23, 2022. Princess Rennes arrives on Dragonstone to announce King Viserys' death and Prince Aegon's ascending the throne. The news shocks Rhaenyra into a premature stillbirth. Daemon pressures Rhaenyra to go to war. When Sir Eric brings Viserys' crown, Rhaenyra is declared queen. Otto presents King Aegon II's terms for Rhaenyra's concession, including retaining her royal title and Dragonstone and her son's rights to inherit Driftmark. Daemon is angered when Rhaenyra considers conceding to unify the realm against the northern threat foretold by Aegon the Conqueror's dream. Corlys pledges House Valyrian's allegiance to Rhaenyra's Black faction. Daemon plans to recruit more dragon riders and awakens a large dragon hibernating in a cave. Princes Jacaerys and Lucerys are sent as envoys to secure houses Arryn, Stark, and Baratheon as allies. Luke meets with Lord Boros Baratheon and discovers Prince Aemond is also there to secure the Baratheons as allies for Aegon II. King Aegon II offered Boros a political alliance through marriage between his daughter and Aemond, while Rhaenyra offered nothing. Luke leaves on his dragon, Arax, but Aemond pursues him on Viagar. The fractious dragons defy their riders. Arax burns Viagar. Viagar then devours Luke and Arax, stunning Aemond. Rhaenyra is devastated and enraged upon receiving the news. Season 2, 2024. No. Overall no in. Season title directed by written by original air date. 11/1 A Son for a Son Alan Taylor Ryan Condal June 16, 2024. At the Wall, Cregan Stark promises Jacaerys Valyrian 2,000 troops for Rhaenyra's forces. Rennes, who secured the Valyrians' shipping blockade of the Gullet, refuses Daemon's command to jointly kill Aemond and Viagar to avenge Luke. After confirming Luke's death, Rhaenyra demands revenge on Aemond. Aegon II strives to be a benevolent king, but Otto Hightower, his grandfather and hand, urges restraint regarding the small folk to preserve scarce war resources. Aegon brings his precocious young son and heir Jaehaerys to the small council for training. Larys exploits Alicent's fears of betrayal. Guilt-ridden over Luke's death, Alicent asks Otto to wage war sparingly. Having survived the brothel fire, Mysaria arrives at Dragonstone and is arrested for treason. Daemon offers her freedom in exchange for help recruiting 2 assassins. Sneaking into King's Landing, Daemon bribes a ratcatcher called Cheese and a city watchguard nicknamed Blood to kill Aemond. Unable to find Aemond in the Red Keep, the two enter Queen Helena's quarters and instead murder Jaehaerys. Helena, clutching Jaehaerys' twin sister, Jaehaera, escapes to Alicent's chambers, finding her and Criston Cole in bed together. 12/2 Rhaenyra the Cruel Claire Kilner Sarah Hess June 23, 2024. Prince Jaehaerys' murder causes chaos. King Aegon hastily assembles his small council, wanting revenge on Rhaenyra. Sir Otto suggests a public funeral to tarnish Rhaenyra's image. In the procession, a herald chants, Rhaenyra the Cruel, as people lining the street express their condolences to Alicent and Helena. City watchguard Blood is captured. He confesses to Lord Larys that Daemon hired him and his accomplice, an unknown to him ratcatcher. In Dragonstone, Rhaenyra worries her popularity will suffer. Suspecting Daemon ordered Jaehaerys' death if Aemond was absent, Rhaenyra says she no longer trusts him. Daemon then flies to Harrenhal to recruit alliances. Having escaped assassination, Aemond, remorseful over Luke's death, seeks solace at a brothel. Criston orders Eric to kill Rhaenyra by infiltrating Dragonstone disguised as his twin, Eric. Rhaenyra grants Mysaria freedom. While departing Dragonstone, Mysaria notices Eric arriving and notifies a guard. When Eric enters Rhaenyra's chambers, Eric bursts in and a fight ensues, ending with Eric killing his brother. Grief-stricken, Eric takes his own life. Aegon publicly hangs all ratcatchers, including Cheese, infuriating Otto, who fears a populist revolt. Aegon dismisses Otto as Hand of the King and appoints Criston. 13/3 The Burning Mill Geeta Vasant Patel David Hancock June 30, 2024. In the Riverlands, the feuding Brackens and Blackwoods fight a deadly battle over a minor dispute. To avert war, Rhaenys tells Rhaenyra that Alicent may be reasoned with. Criston proposes a bold plan to conquer Harrenhal. Daemon arrives there first, whereupon Sir Simon Strong, the Castellan, pledges allegiance. That night, Daemon dreams that a young Rhaenyra is sewing Jaehaerys' severed head onto his body. Daemon awakens and a strange woman, Alys, foretells his death occurring at Harrenhal. Rhaenyra sends Rhaena, her younger children, and dragon eggs to the Arryns to protect the Targaryen line. Mysaria becomes Rhaenyra's advisor, while Aegon makes Larys his master of whisperers. At a brothel, a man named Ulf boasts he is Daemon and King Viserys' bastard half-brother. Arriving at the brothel with his squires, Aegon encounters Aemond with Madame Sylvie and cruelly mocks him. After Baela, patrolling on Moondancer, spots Criston's squad en route to Harrenhal, Rhaenyra's counselors urge war with dragons. Instead, Rhaenyra sneaks into King's Landing and secretly meets with Alicent but fails to negotiate a peaceful resolution. She realizes Alicent misunderstood King Viserys' dying words about Aegon as concerning Alicent's son Aegon II, not Aegon the Conqueror's dreams. 14.4 The Red Dragon and the Gold. Alan Taylor Ryan Condell, July 7, 2024. Daemon dreams that he decapitates a young Rhaenyra, who accused him of treason. Grand Maester Orwaley prepares Alicent an abortifacient tea. He professes ignorance about whom Viserys named as heir. Criston beheads Lord Gunthor Darklyn of Duskendale, who refused allegiance. Alys Rivers tells Daemon that Harrenhal is haunted. Her potion causes him to hallucinate seeing his deceased wife, Laena Velaryon. Rhaenyra returns to Dragonstone and agrees to a war using dragons. Rhaenys volunteers herself and her dragon, Molaise. Aegon complains about Aemond and Criston planning battles without him, but Alicent dismisses this, says his lacking wisdom and knowledge makes him an inferior king. She advises he can best serve the realm by doing nothing and defer to his advisors. Frustrated and drunk, Aegon flies his dragon, Sunfire, to Rook's Rest. Rhaenys on Molaise burns Criston's troops while Aemond and Vhagar wait to ambush her. When Aegon and Sunfire approach, Aemond delays attacking. As Molaise mauls Sunfire, Aemond flies in and commands Vhagar to burn both dragons. Sunfire falls with Aegon. Rhaenys and Molaise attack Vhagar, who also falls. As Rhaenys circles above, Vhagar suddenly rises and fatally throttles Molaise, plunging Rhaenys to her death. Criston regains consciousness and finds Aemond, sword drawn, near Aegon, who lies motionless next to the heavily wounded Sunfire. 15.5 Regent Claire Kilner T.I. Michael, July 14, 2024. Corlys, Rhaenyra and Baela mourn Rhaenys' death. Criston parades Molaise head through King's Landing, though the near-starving small folk consider it a bad omen. Aegon has survived but is comatose and severely burned, while Sunfire is near dead. Criston withholds telling Alicent what truly happened at the battle. Daemon dreams of incest with his mother, who calls him her favorite son. The small council reject Alicent's bid as regent and elect Aemond, wanting a male and a dragon rider on the throne. Aemond orders the city gates shut, preventing blacksmith Hugh Hammer and his family from fleeing. Jane Arryn tells Rhaena she is disappointed she received 2 hatchlings rather than a mature dragon. At the twins, Jace obtains the phrase allegiance in exchange for Harrenhal. Elinda is sent to King's Landing as a spy and agitator. Daemon declares he will be king once a large army is raised. He orders the Blackwoods to ravage the Brackens and forces their fealty. Alys criticizes Daemon's ruthlessness and the River Lords denounce his atrocities. Rhaenyra laments lacking riders for Vermithor and Silverwing, the only dragons large enough to challenge Vhagar. Jace suggests searching other noble houses for Valyrian descendants. 16.6 Small Folk Andridge Park Eileen Shim, July 21, 2024. Jason Lannister leads his army to the Golden Tooth. Aemond refuses vassal Humphrey Leford's request to fly there and provide support. Aemond wants Tyland Lannister to ally with the Triarchy to break the Valyrian blockade. Aemond orders Criston to march on Harrenhal and dismisses Alicent from the small council. Sir Stefan Darklin, a distant Targaryen descendant, attempts to claim Seasmoke and is incinerated. Daemon continues having disturbing dreams and irrationally believes he is being poisoned. Aemond orders Larys to summon Otto Hightower to court. Aegon, slowly recovering, tells Aemond he remembers nothing about the battle. Gwaine Hightower assures Alicent that her youngest son, Durin, is kind, unlike his brothers. Corlys appoints his illegitimate son, Alan of Hull, his flagship's first mate. Meanwhile, Alan's brother, Adam, is pursued by Seasmoke. Mysaria's spies spread rumors that the royals regularly feast while small folk starve. Mysaria sends food-laden Targaryen boats to King's Landing. The grateful citizens fight over limited supplies, causing a riot that Alicent and Helaena barely survive. Mysaria tells Rhaenyra that her father sexually abused her and why she is loyal. They passionately kiss. Upon hearing Seasmoke has a new rider, Rhaenyra leaves on Syrax to confront them. 17-7 The Red Sewing Lonnie Perry Steer David Hancock July 28, 2024. Rhaenyra confronts Adam of Hull, Seasmoke's new rider, who pledges fealty to her. Alicent retreats to the Kingswood after being dismissed from the small council. Larys presses Grand Maester Orwaley to accelerate Aegon's recovery. While departing the Eyrie with the young princes, Rhaena leaves to find the wild dragon. Mysaria tells Rhaenyra to search for Targaryen dragon seeds, bastards with Valyrian blood, in King's Landing as potential dragon riders. The new Lord Paramount, Oscar Tully, offers Daemon allegiance but denounces his nefarious behavior. He demands Daemon's contrition and to mete out justice for allowing war atrocities. Daemon then executes Willem Blackwood for slaughtering the Brackens. Daemon has another vision of Viserys, who asks if he truly wants the crown and its burden. Jace confronts Rhaenyra, arguing that bastard dragon riders could challenge the Targaryens' power and threaten the succession due to his own illegitimate birth. At Rhaenyra's command, Elinda and Alan deliver the dragon seeds to Dragonstone, Hugh and Ulf among them. Vermithor kills many dragon seeds until Hugh claims him. Meanwhile, Ulf claims Silverwing and flies over King's Landing. Aemond pursues him on Viagar but nearing Dragonstone, he quickly retreats upon seeing Rhaenyra with Syrax, Vermithor, and Silverwing. 18-8 The Queen Whoever Was Geeta Vasant Patel Sarah Hess August 4, 2024. Tyland Lannister recruits the Triarchy as allies, but first successfully defeats Admiral Sheriko Luhar in mud wrestling. Larys proposes that he and Aegon hide in Bravos where Harrenhal's gold is stashed, then reclaim the throne following the war. After long searching, Rhaena finds the wild dragon. Gwaine confronts Criston, who regrets the war. A rage-fueled Aemond destroys Sharp Point with Viagar. Rhaenyra, who hoped having more dragon riders would deter conflict, declares war. Ulf's boorishness angers Jace. Alan rebuffs Corlys' reconciliation attempts. Rhaenyra and Adam fly to Harrenhal after Simon Strong sends warning that Daemon may be traitorous. Alys leads Daemon to a weirwood tree where he foresees a future including a White Walker and Daenerys Targaryen. Seeing himself as one part in a larger story, he swears fealty to Rhaenyra. Helaena refuses Aemond's demand to fly Dreamfire into battle and foresees him dying in the war and Aegon reclaiming the throne. Alicent secretly travels to Dragonstone, offering to surrender King's Landing to Rhaenyra in exchange for her and her family's safety. Rhaenyra insists Aegon must die to secure the throne. Otto is glimpsed as a captive in a cell. Armies in the Reach, the North, the Westerlands, and the Riverlands, as well as House Valyrians and the Triarchy's fleets, mobilize for war. Production. Development. Close-up of show creator Ryan Condal. Close-up of show creator George R.R. Martin. Show creators and executive producers Ryan Condal, left, and George R.R. Martin, right. In 2015, with Game of Thrones still in production, HBO executives approached A Song of Ice and Fire writer George R.R. Martin regarding possible successors or spin-offs to the series. In November 2018, Martin stated that a potential spin-off series would be solidly based on material in Fire and Blood. 6. Game of Thrones creators David Benioff and D.B. Weiss stated they wanted to move on from the franchise and declined involvement in subsequent projects. 7. By September 2019, a Game of Thrones prequel series from Martin and Ryan Condal that tracks the beginning of the end for House Targaryen was close to receiving a pilot order from HBO. 8. The following month, House of the Dragon was given a straight-to-series order. 9. Condal and Miguel Sapochnik, who won an Emmy Award for directing the episode Battle of the Bastards, were selected to serve as showrunners. 10. In 2016, Condal pitched the idea of a series based on Martin's Tales of Dunk and Egg, however HBO initially passed on it. 11. Sapochnik was also hired to direct the series premiere as well as additional episodes. 12. The series begins 172 years before the events of Game of Thrones during the reign of King Viserys I Targaryen, ultimately leading to the Targaryen civil war known as the Dance of the Dragons. 13. 14. The project is a reworking of the rejected spin-off concept from Game of Thrones writer Brian Kochman, on which HBO officially passed. 15. Inspiration for the series came from English medieval history and the Anarchy, a war of succession after the death of Henry I of England between his nephew Stephen of Blois and only surviving child, Empress Matilda, who had fled to Normandy in the 12th century. 16. 17. 18. In January 2020, Casey Bloys, HBO's president of programming, stated that writing had begun. 19. Writers for the show include Condal and Sarah Hess, who previously wrote for Deadwood and Orange is the New Black. 20. Martin was also involved in the pre-production, providing input on storylines and reviewed scripts and rough cuts. 21. On August 26, 2022, less than a week after its premiere, the series was renewed for a second season. 22. On August 31, Miguel Sapochnik stepped down as director and co-showrunner for the second season, but remained an executive producer. Sapochnik stated, "It was incredibly tough to decide to move on, but I know that it is the right choice for me, personally and professionally." 23. Alan Taylor, who directed Game of Thrones episodes, joined in Season 2 and serves as an executive producer and director. 24. Following the second season renewal, Bloys stated that it was expected to premiere in 2024. 25. Hess told Variety in late December 2022 that most of Season 2 had been written and would include a revenge plot against Alicent following the events of the first season finale. 26. The second season consists of 8 episodes and premiered on June 16, 2024. 27. 28. On his personal blog in December 2023, Martin stated the third and fourth seasons are being written. 29. In June 2024, ahead of the second season premiere, the series was renewed for a third season. 30. After the second season finished airing in August 2024, Condal said the series is intended to end after the fourth season. 31. Changes from the novels. It was very important for Miguel and I to create a show that was not another bunch of white people on the screen. We wanted to find a way to put diversity in the show, but we didn't want to do it in a way that felt like it was an afterthought or, worse, tokenism. Ryan Condal, July 2022 interview with Entertainment Weekly 32. In the novels, members of House Velaryon are generally described as having silver gold hair, pale skin, and violet eyes, similar to the Targaryens. 33. However, Condal and Sapochnik wanted to introduce more racial diversity with its casting. 34. Game of Thrones was criticized for lacking a diverse cast and including cultural stereotypes. 35. 36. As a result, House Velaryon are portrayed as black in the television series. 37. According to Condal, Martin, while writing the novels, considered making the Velaryons a house of black aristocrats who traveled to Westeros from the culturally diverse area of Valyria. 37. Despite initial fan criticism of the ethnicity change, 38 publications and commentators stated it helped distinguish between the large number of characters between the two families. 39. 40. Fire and Blood is written in the style of a history book authored by an in-universe fictional historian studying the Targaryen dynasty and various civil conflicts. 41. The novels of A Song of Ice and Fire, however, are more immersive, with each chapter written in a third-person limited perspective from the immediate point of view of a character. 42 As a result, some accounts of events recorded in Fire and Blood are second-hand narrations that are potentially speculative or distorted, therefore making the narrator unreliable from the reader's perspective. 43 In an effort to make the story more clear for viewers, the show writers decided to portray the book events in chronological order from a third-person perspective. 44. Casting. Casting for the first season began in July 2020. 45 In October 2020, Paddy Considine was cast as Viserys I Targaryen. 46 Considine was offered a role in Game of Thrones but declined due to the fantasy elements of the series. 47 Condell in a 2020 interview stated that Considine was their first choice for Viserys. 48 By December, Olivia Cooke, Matt Smith, and Emma Darcy were cast as Alicent Hightower, Daemon Targaryen, and Rhaenyra Targaryen, respectively. 49 In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Smith stated he was initially hesitant to star in a Game of Thrones prequel but accepted the role after learning of Considine's attachment to the project. 50. In February 2021, Rhys Ifans, Steve Toussaint, Eve Best, and Sunwoya Mizuno were added to the main cast. 51 By April, Fabian Frankel joined the cast as Sir Criston Cole. 52 In May, Graham McTavish was spotted on set in full wardrobe. 53 In July 2021, Emily Carey and Millie Alcock were added to the cast as younger counterparts of Alicent Hightower and Rhaenyra Targaryen, respectively. 54 The time jump midway through the first season prompted the casting of multiple actors for the same role. 55. In April 2023, Gail Rankin, Simon Russell Bale, Freddie Fox, and Abubakar Salim were announced to have joined the cast for the second season as Alice Rivers, Sir Simon Strong, Sir Gawain Hightower and Alan of Hull, respectively. 56 In December 2023, Tom Taylor, Clinton Liberty, Jamie Kenna, Kieran Boo, Tom Bennett, and Vincent Regan were announced to have joined the cast for the second season as Lord Cregan Stark, Adam of Hull, Sir Alfred Broom, Hugh Hammer, Ulf the White and Sir Ricard Thorne, respectively. 57. Filming. Principal photography on the 10-episode first season of the series began in April 2021. 58. The series was filmed primarily in the United Kingdom. 59. House of the Dragon was the first production to be shot at Warner Bros. Leavesden Studios' new virtual production stage. 60. On July 18, 2021, a positive COVID-19 case forced the pausing of production for 2 days. 61. The Spanish publication Hoy reported that House of the Dragon would be filmed in the province of Caceres in western Spain between October 11-21, 2021. 62. The provincial capital of Caceres along with the medieval town of Trujillo were used in scenes for King's Landing. 63. From October 26-31, the series was filmed in Portugal at the Castle of Monsanto. 64. The majority of Season 1 was shot using ARRI Alexa cameras, specifically Alexa 65s for the main camera and the Alexa Mini LFs as additional cameras. 65. Locations in Cornwall, England included St Michael's Mount, Holywell Beach, and Kynance Cove. Other locations included Castleton, Derbyshire, in areas such as Cave Dale, Eldon Hill Quarry and the Market Place. Some scenes were shot in Aldershot, Hampshire. 66. In February 2022, HBO confirmed that the first season of House of the Dragon had wrapped production. 67. Visual effects for the series were produced in part by Pixomondo, who worked on Game of Thrones and received an Emmy Award for Outstanding Visual Effects. 68. 69. 70. In October 2022, it was reported that the OSVP stage at Leavesden Studios, used in the series, was shutting down. 71. The second season began filming on April 11, 2023, at Warner Bros. Studios, Leavesden in Watford, England 72 and moved to Caceres, Spain on May 18, 2023. 73-74. The series continued filming throughout the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike. 75. Despite the show originating in the United States, the largely British cast works under local rules governed by the sister union Equity. 76. Filming wrapped by September 29, 2023. 77. Music. See also, House of the Dragon, Season 1, Soundtrack. It was announced in February 2021 that Ramin Djawadi would compose the series' score. 78. Djawadi composed the music for all 8 seasons of Game of Thrones, which garnered him 3 Grammy Awards nominations and 2 Emmy Awards wins. 79. 78. Djawadi and the showrunners opted to retain the original theme song, Game of Thrones theme, for House of the Dragon. The song debuted in the opening credits of the second episode. 80. In an interview with the AV Club, Djawadi stated that the original theme song was used to tie the shows together. 81. For the first season, Djawadi, along with Kondal and Sapiknik, watched each episode and made notes on when the music should occur and what mood the music should set. 82. Character motifs from Game of Thrones are also featured in House of the Dragon, including the dragon-themed Dracarys. 83. Language. Game of Thrones linguist David J. Peterson returned to continue his work on the constructed language High Valyrian. 84. Peterson stated that, unlike Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon features scene-long dialogue in High Valyrian. 85. In the series, High Valyrian is spoken by both Targaryens and Valyrians, requiring cast members to learn the language. 86. Emma Darcy reportedly enjoyed learning it, while Matt Smith initially dreaded it and found it daunting. 87. Budget. The production budget of the first season of House of the Dragon was nearly $200 million, which equates to an average of just below $20 million per episode. 88. In comparison, its parent series, Game of Thrones, cost around $100 million per season, beginning with nearly $6 million per episode from seasons 1 to 5, around $10 million for every episode in seasons 6 and 7, and up to $15 million each episode in its 8th and final season, earning $285 million in profits per season over its 8 seasons. 89-90. According to Deadline Hollywood, the marketing budget was over $100 million, comparable to the budget for a blockbuster theatrical film. 91. Release. House of the Dragon premiered on August 21, 2022. 92. It is HBO's first new series to stream in 4K, Dolby Vision HDR and Dolby Atmos on its sister streaming platform HBO Max. 93. The first episode was released for free on YouTube on September 2, 2022. 94. The first season finale was leaked online the week before the actual air date, with the full episode appearing on torrent sites. 95. According to HBO, the leak came from a Europe, the Middle East and Africa partner, and it will aggressively monitor for additional leaks. 96. The second season premiered on June 16, 2024. 28. The second season finale was also leaked online, with HBO releasing a statement stating the leak originated from a third-party distributor. 97. International broadcast. See also, List of HBO international channels. In New Zealand, the series is distributed by Sky's Soho TV channel and Neon streaming service. 98. In the Philippines, Sky broadcasts the show via its main cable television services and other digital streaming platforms. 99. In India, JioCinema distributes the show. 100. In the UK, Ireland, Italy, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, the series airs on Sky Atlantic and its accompanying streaming service Now. 101. In Canada, House of the Dragon is available on Bell Media's Crave streaming service and its HBO linear channel. 102. In Australia, the series is available for streaming on Binge and Foxtel. 103. Home media. The first season was released on 4K UHD Blu-ray, Standard Blu-ray, and DVD on December 20, 2022, and contains over an hour of behind-the-scenes features. 104. Reception. Critical response. House of the Dragon, critical reception by episode. Graphs are unavailable due to technical issues. There is more info on Fabricator and on MediaWiki.org. Percentage of positive critics reviews tracked by the website Rotten Tomatoes 105. Season 1. On the review aggregation website Rotten Tomatoes, the first season holds an approval rating of 90%, based on 876 reviews, with an average rating of 7.85/10. The website's critical consensus reads, covering an era of tenuous peace with ferocious albeit abbreviated focus, House of the Dragon is an impressive prequel that exemplifies the court intrigue that distinguished its predecessor. 105. On Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, the first season received a score of 69 out of 100 based on 43 critic reviews, indicating generally favorable reviews. 106. Reviews for the first season were positive, with critics praising the writing, directing, score, and cast performances. 107. Lucy Mangan of The Guardian called the show a roaring success, with Lorraine Alley of the Los Angeles Times stating the show mirrors the acclaim of the early seasons of Game of Thrones. 108. 109 reviews pointed out the reliance on Martin's novel was one of the reasons the series fared better critically than the later seasons of its predecessor, specifically the last season. 110. 111 The cast also received praise, with Patty Considine, Matt Smith, Emma Darcy, and Olivia Cook being singled out for their performances. 112 In an interview with GQ, Considine stated that Martin told him that "your Viserys is better than my Viserys." 113 The diversity of the characters was mostly met with praise. 114 115 116 with Jeff Yang of the New York Times stating that diversification of the cast can help the series gain a more diverse audience. 117 The series was included on multiple critics' top 10 lists of 2022, including Chicago Tribune, San Francisco Chronicle, CNN, and Polygon. 118. The show's first season received criticism for the depiction of violence, pacing and cinematography. Reviewing the early episodes, Rolling Stone and Entertainment Weekly said the series leaned too much on grand imagery and lacked the breakout supporting characters that Game of Thrones had. 119 120 Before the premiere, Martin stated that the series is similar to a Shakespearean tragedy, with each character being morally grey with no character everybody's going to love. 121 The Guardian stated the dullness of the characters makes the series more of a period drama than an action-adventure fantasy. 122 The Los Angeles Times and the New York Times cited the constant actor changes as a reason for the lack of emotional attachment to characters. 123 124 The graphic violence in the season premiere with a failed cesarean section was criticized for being excessive, and according to USA Today, exploitive and in poor taste. 125 126 127 The time jumps throughout the first season were also noted for being jarring and causing confusion. 128 129 While Martin defended them as being handled very well. 130 131 In addition, the dark cinematography in Episode 7 was a point of criticism from both critics and fans. 132 133 HBO responded that the dimmed lighting in those scenes was an intentional creative decision. 134 Game of Thrones faced similar criticism regarding the lighting of scenes in its 8th season, with one of the show's cinematographers stating it was a deliberate choice. 135 136 In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter before the second season premiere, Ryan Condal said that the lighting for the upcoming season would be changed after listening to the feedback from the previous season. 137. Season 2. On Rotten Tomatoes, the second season holds an approval rating of 84%, based on 270 reviews, with an average rating of 7.6/10. The website's critical consensus reads, approaching its dynastic cataclysm with a deliberate stride rather than a charging gallop, House of the Dragon carefully sets up its emotional stakes to make the fiery spectacle all the more scorching. 138. On Metacritic, the second season received a score of 73 out of 100 based on 40 critic reviews, indicating generally favorable reviews. 139. Viewership. Season 1. The day after the series premiere, HBO said the episode had been viewed by an estimated 9.99 million viewers in the US on its first night of availability, including linear viewers and streams on HBO Max, which it said was the largest single-day viewership for a series debut in the service's history, dethroning Euphoria. 140. After 1 week of availability, the viewership rose to nearly 25 million in the US across all platforms. 141. Nielsen estimated that the episode was watched by 10.6 million viewers on HBO Max in the first 4 days, with the number increasing to 14.5 million when including the viewership on the main HBO channel. A 142. Samba TV meanwhile stated that 4.8 million US households streamed the episode in the first 4 days. 143. The series was also popular on social media, with the show premiere being the #1 trending topic on Twitter and Google Trends. 144. The finale of the first season was watched by 9.3 million viewers across all platforms during its premiere night, according to HBO, which was the highest viewership for any finale of a HBO show since the series finale of Game of Thrones. The show averaged 9.5 million viewers for an episode on premiere night and 29 million total viewers after a week of release. 145. Nielsen stated in November 2022 that 35% of the viewers of the show were in the age range of 18-34. 146. Similar to Game of Thrones, the first season of House of the Dragon was extensively pirated. 147. According to Torrent Freak, it was the most pirated series of 2022, ahead of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power and other series. 148. Season 2. Season 2 had a debut of 7.8 million viewers across linear and streaming on its Sunday night premiere, which was a 22% viewership decline from the previous season, which had 10 million. In Latin America, viewership was up 30% from Season 1. 149. According to Samba TV, viewership for its initial airing of the premiere was watched by 1.3 million US households, compared to 2.6 million for Season 1. 150. The series garnered its highest streaming viewership for a particular week during the week of June 17, 2024, according to Nielsen, garnering a viewership of 1.23 billion minutes. 151. The viewership of the season steadily increased as further episodes were released. 152. Reaching a season high of 8.9 million viewers across linear and streaming with the final episode. The finale also marked the highest streaming viewership for any episode of the show, according to HBO. 153. Comparisons with The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Critics, fans, and publications have drawn comparisons between House of the Dragon and fantasy series The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power on Amazon Prime Video. The Rings of Power is a prequel series set thousands of years before the events of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, while House of the Dragon is a prequel series set hundreds of years before Game of Thrones. 154. The similar fantasy genre, close release dates, and extensive fan bases were cited in articles comparing the two series. 3. 155. 156 commentators and fans alike have described these comparisons as the biggest battle in TV history. 157. 158. More negative criticism from the two fan bases also included the character diversity, with some publications describing some of the criticism as racist. 159. 160. 161. 162. Martin stated that although he hopes both shows are successful, he wants to see House of the Dragon succeed more. 163. Lindsay Weber, an executive producer for The Rings of Power, stated that the head-to-head conflict between the two shows are totally manufactured by the media for headlines. 158. Show CEO creator J.D. Payne said the only competition he sees is with themselves, however, he wishes well for anyone else working on storytelling. 164. Financially, the budget for The Rings of Power is almost $450 million more than House of the Dragon. 88. Both series fared successfully in the ratings. 165 According to Nielsen and first-party data, The Rings of Power's first 2 episodes had more than 1.25 billion streaming minutes after 3 days of availability. In comparison, a few hours after the episode 2 premiere of House of the Dragon, the show had reached more than 1.06 billion streaming minutes. B142-166 Following the season finale for House of the Dragon, weekly streaming viewership passed 1 billion viewing minutes for the first time. 166 According to Nielsen data, The Rings of Power has a higher percentage of older viewers, with more than 70% of viewers being over the age of 35. 167 In any given week, The Rings of Power tended to have more streams than House of the Dragon, given that the viewership of House of the Dragon was split between those watching online and those watching on HBO channel, while that of The Rings of Power was online only. However, following both series debuts, streaming viewership for The Rings of Power decreased over the first season, while House of the Dragon viewership increased. The viewership of individual episodes of House of the Dragon also tended to increase over a number of weeks after the episodes became available, while that of The Rings of Power dropped sharply after the first 2 weeks. 168 Despite the age gap in viewership, commentators have stated one of the reasons both shows did well was the consistent release schedule that helped create social media buzz. 169-170 Both shows have highlighted the streaming wars between both Amazon and HBO and the entertainment industry as a whole. 171-172-173 Accolades. Main article, List of awards and nominations received by House of the Dragon. The first season was nominated for Outstanding Drama Series at the 75th Primetime Emmy Awards, in addition to 8 nominations at the Primetime Creative Arts Emmy Awards, winning 1 for Outstanding Fantasy/Sci-Fi Costumes. 174-175 It received 2 nominations at the 80th Golden Globe Awards for Best Television Series Drama and Best Actress in a Television Series Drama for Darcy, winning the former. 176 other nominations include 3 Critics' Choice Television Awards and 1 Screen Actors Guild Award. 177-178